Welcome to Data channel. Today we are going to discuss MotherDuck. MotherDuck is from the DuckDB creators. So whatever we have learned in the DuckDB series, that will be applicable. Let's start. So this is the official website of MotherDuck, and you can get a free cluster in case you want to do some testing. So you just need to sign up clicking here, and it's pretty much straightforward. I have already logged in, so I will click on login here. But before that, let's understand what makes MotherDuck so special, or let's understand the features of it. So first is hyper tenancy. When I say hyper tenancy, I mean each user or agent will get a separate cluster. And that's the main reason why queries are lightning fast in MotherDuck. So first, hypertenancy. Second is integration. MotherDuck has integration with all of the famous ETL related tools. So you can easily integrate with tools like TLT Hub, DBT. You can also integrate with Apache Airflow, Dexter. So lots of support. Let me show you the complete support. So I will click in a new tab. And if you see this list, it's a huge list. Ingestion related, we have business intelligence, all the famous data visualization tools are there, including Power BI, Tableau, Looker. You can see here. Then we have data science and AI related tools integration. So you can do with Data Lab, Colab, LangChain, Llama Index, Olama. Also, there are reverse ETL tools. So if you just see here, there is a reverse ETL category like Fivetran. They are fully integrated. For orchestration, Apache Airflow, Astronom orchestration, Bruin, Dexter, Orchestra, Prefect, all are there. For data quality, Soda, Monte Carlo, Bruin, and others. AI agents, you can see ChatGPT, Claude, Cursor, and further there are transformation like DBT, DevTools, Data Apps. So lots of support for technology partners. And this is really helpful when you're working in era of AI and ML. Third thing is AI plus MCP server. So MotherDuck has created a very good MCP server. And we all know MCP server are used for connecting with the AI agents. MCP is nothing but the model context protocol designed by the Anthropic team, and that is something that has become de facto standard when you are going to integrate agents with different tools and services. I have already created a video on local MCP server on DuckDB and MotherDuck that you can use, but we are going to see today how we can easily integrate with AI clients like Claude. So today we will see how we can easily integrate MCP server. Next is quite interesting, that is called dives. So what you can do, you can ask the agents to create dives, and dives will nothing but dashboard you can create. So you have flexibility of using the data visualization tool like Power BI, Tableau, Looker, and many others. But you can also create everything in native React. We will see this, and this is the most interesting part of MotherDuck. Then we have something called Duck Lake, that is the open table format. And this is similar to what we see in the Delta table format and Iceberg table format. But the way it's stored the metadata is entirely different. It won't use file, it will store in database itself. And this is something for some other day to cover, because again, I want to throw more light on that. Last, this is something in preview that is called flights. And when I say agent native data pipelines, what exactly I mean, you can create your whole ETL pipeline without coding anything. The whole integration will be taken care by the agent, and whatever possible in Python, that is possible in flights. And this is again a very unique feature coming from the DuckDB creators or the MotherDuck creators. We will see this option as well. If I talk about the main use cases, of course, for any data warehouse, the main use cases are customer facing analytics and data warehousing plus BI. It's self explanatory. Further, they have also provided the comparisons between Snowflake, BigQuery, Databricks, Postgres, Redshift, and ClickHouse. That is for some other day. I go to the MotherDuck and I click on login because I have already logged in. In case you want to start, you can start free. There is no need to pay for that. So if I click on login, I will see something like this. This is my UI, okay? My account UI. And notice that at the top right corner, there is something called Pulse. Pulse is the compute. And if I click on that, you can see in a normal account, you would be able to change. But since I have signed up for the free account, I can only see Pulse. That is the lightweight, fully serverless analytics. You can decide your compute depending on your use case. So standard, jumbo, mega, giga. MotherDuck has provided many options and it's all depends on your needs. They also have some kind of read-write duckling. Duckling is nothing but a compute for every user and agent that is spin up by the MotherDuck team. For read-heavy analytics, of especially for BI tools and embedding analytics, this read scaling duckling size can be configured, but of course you need a paid account. You can create your tokens here. I have created some in the past. You can also store your secrets when you are connecting with different tools and services. You can also see a Postgres endpoint. So what does it mean? You can connect with any Postgres compatible client like pgadmin quite easily using this URL. Running queries, you can see the running queries, you can monitor them. And then we have users, roles, service accounts, authentication. There are other things, okay? Ducklinks, if you go there, it will show you the compute thing special about it. And of course, billing as well. Right. So let's see how can we write queries in MotherDuck. There is something called notebooks, which I can use. So if I click here, it will create a new notebook and then I can write my queries. Notebook provides the interactive flexibility. So each cell you can run individually and also you can see the output as well. That's the reason these notebooks has become so popular. They're everywhere now. In case you want to select any specific database, you can select here and you can also switch between different database like this. And writing queries, it is very easy. I will just say from when you are doing a select star, you can avoid writing select star and you can directly say like, so employee DB, just use your tab key and then, so if you want to see what is there, there's a main and UK employee. You have to use tab. Yeah. If I run now, okay, there is no data. Let's check in other table. In my DB, there is JSON placeholder schema. Okay. So one shortcut is I can directly go there, click on three dots and query in current notebook. And when you run the query, you can see you can write like this as well. You can give the from and then select. Why they have provided this flexibility? Because it makes more sense when you first write the table name, unlike writing after you have mentioned the columns. And if you think why syntax like that makes sense, because when you write starting the column names, then you already know which table you are currently interested. We can see these, we can run any kind of queries. We can see the output, and we can also use inspector to see the data quality. You can also see data type, big int, varchar. It's varchar field again. Right. I can do any join as well in case I want to do. So everything is possible. You can add the data as well. So you can add the data from cloud storage, from local files, from local DuckDB as well. So if you have already a DuckDB file which you have persisted in your local, you can directly browse it. So that's something great about MotherDuck. And let me just show you how can I browse a. So I will go there in the files and just it's showing the size of this file, what name you want to give. So I will give just sample things, which database schema you wanted to create. So I will just choose one. And then there is something calling no errors. So throw out arrows that fail to parse. So in case of any parsing error, those rows will be rejected and will not be loaded. And you have the flexibility of even disabling it. So it's showing you that successfully created. Now you can directly query here. You can also drop, you can close. This is the data we just loaded. Great. So you can see how easily you can do any kind of analytics here. When I say data, I can even connect from my cloud storage. So I can choose Amazon S3, Azure, GCS, then there are Hugging Face, flights as well. There are plenty of options. We will see this in future, how we can fetch the data from a cloud. But this is something that we have already seen in the DuckDB video, so feel free to watch that. But next, now we will understand if anything go wrong, even there is support for AI to assist. Okay, so I will just remove this comma part and run it. It's still working. You can see now if I just remove the as part and run, we are getting the binder error. Error while creating result, original message, reference column, internet user not found in from clause. So it's suggesting you to replace it with users. So I will just accept and run, and then it makes sense. Errors like a comma, not at all a problem here, if you notice this. Okay, let me just show you the part of it. I will just remove this. It's displaying the complete data. So still working when you miss the comma, because the parser is intelligent enough to understand, and then it will be rectified when you actually run the query. Something special in MotherDuck. Next, let's understand how can we create a dive here. I have already created one dive like this. You can see it's a simple dashboard. But when you open this dashboard, the data is automatically refreshed from the database. And you can also refresh clicking on this. Whenever you create any kind of dashboard using the dive, a version will be maintained like this. And you can also share it. You can see the code as well. As I mentioned before, the code is React. It's all React code. Again, interesting one. We can see the code itself. Let me create a dive now here and use it. Or I can do the same thing in the even in the web version. So I will go there, click on settings, connectors, and connect. Okay, it's successfully connected. Fine. As the integration has worked, you can create a type. So I will just go to my MotherDuck account here, and let's see which table we can use. Sample data. Let's see sample data. So in the sample data, we have something called Stack Overflow Survey. Let's create. Okay, so we can simply say create a dive in MotherDuck for, just mention the database and everything. Table in Stack Overflow Survey schema. I'm just trying to avoid spending too much tokens, so I will give the complete database schema details in sample database. Okay, this is very basic prompt which I am giving. Let me just open the survey result and see the data. So it has lots of data. Just want to see, do we have any time? But model is intelligent enough to understand what exactly it need, right? So we will say, and show me trends. Now I can also provide my brand guidelines. Let's see what it will do. So it will try to find the tools. Yeah. And then it will use the tools. So in MCP, everything work using the tools. Now it's asking me for permissions to list the columns. I will. Okay, I will click on always allow just to speed up the things. So it has identified that there is a year column, as we can see here at the end. Good, this looks like multiple years of Stack Overflow survey data. It has identified 614K rows. Let me check the year range. So it's checking the year range. It's 8 years of data. Now it will read the dive guide. So there's a dive guide created by MotherDuck creators, and it will pull a few trend queries. You can see the whole plan here. Okay, it's saying good, semicolon delimited, and good data. Excellent data. Okay, fine. Now it's creating a dive. Great thing about this is the whole code is generated by the AI model which you are using. In this case, we are using Sonnet. Of course, it performs better with the other models like Opus in case you have the paid account. But even if my experience is it will do a good job, we will see the type shortly. Now you can make this prompt more specific depending on your needs. What kind of visuals you want to see? It can be a bar graph, it can be a line chart, it can be histogram. You can mention whatever way you like. If you have a better understanding of the data, then obviously the dive will be better. Or you can go in multiple rounds. You can ask again, and it can even edit the dive. You can see it's giving me the link as well. A few things worth flagging from data, it's also highlighting that Python usage here nearly doubled. TypeScript grew the fastest, obviously, we all know that. And then median corps grow from 56K to 67K and peaking at 75K in 2023. So it has mentioned the main trends. I will click here and it will open my profile, my account. I think it's a decent job, right? Let me ask now the model to make some changes. So what we are going to do, we will just say uh, apply a slicer for year. Okay, apply a slicer for year, not for year, my bad, in dive. And what else we can do? That's fine. And also apply branding guidelines. Okay, so every company has certain branding guidelines regarding how they want or report or dashboard to look like. Claude, create a branding guidelines for a market research company called research team that works in UK. Everything will be taken care in the branding guidelines, right? Great. So it has created this document now. And this is the brand guidelines. Look like quite elaborate. Voice and tone, logo, color palette, just like a typical company, how it operate. Okay, let me download. Here it is. As test. Now it will create another version. Okay. Now I can delete. I have all flexibility. We will quickly see what all tools the MotherDuck team is going to expose that is being used by the model, Claude model, that is Sonnet. So it's loading the skills and then it's reading the guidelines document as we have instructed. And I'm sure it will change everything now. Now it's checking the tools again, what all tools it can use to update dive full rewrite. Then it's loading the six. Some format you cannot open, of course, because of their type. And just see, it's creating now the React code for the dashboard. Now, when I say dashboard report, I mean the same thing with respect to MotherDuck. And now it's updating the dive as well. So it will call update dive using the ID, and then it will publish. Done. Let's see the there has been some change. If I go to V1, let me show you the slicer. It will work. Okay. Data is changing, as you can see. All yes. Fine. If you give your prompt in a better way, and if you use the latest models like Opus ones, it will do a great job for sure. I have used the brand guidelines. It has created a different dashboard at time. But today, I think, as I didn't mention much in the prompt, it has created a very basic branding guidelines tool that is more focused on the typography and all. But so it seems like it has created some kind of generic, but it's fine. I can say here the data, and these dashboards are of great quality. So if you make your prompt better, give clear instruction, they can generate any kind of graph. And it will keep on creating different versions as well. And then you can change it. Like I can say ready for use, marked as ready. I can even endorse and I can even archive when I no longer need it. So great feature. And I can also share copy the link, copy the presentation link. Okay. So if I just go there and see, it will again open that in the browser now. And this is much better for a report because there's no distraction. Okay, great. So you can see all dives here. Previous one is in draft. Next one we have just moved it to ready. And of course, you can remix this dive when you want to change anything. You can add it a description. You can open in presentation mode like this, which we have already seen. And moreover, you can also copy content, delete type. So whatever you can do here, that is all possible using the MCP protocol. And the reason is there are tools involved. So if I go to the MCP server here, this is the documentation provided by the MotherDuck team. Now you can, with the help of a remote MCP server, your agent can execute read-only and read-write SQL against your databases. So we can even run queries. It can explode, it can attach or detach shares, it can create and manage dives, we have already seen. And it can even create, schedule, run, and monitor flights, which is nothing but the Python, any kind of ETL logic if you want to create using Python. And then each dive has certain tools. So always look into the tools provided by any company or the database in this case, because that will give you an idea, understanding the context, what exactly the model will invoke. So when it needs to delete a dive, it will call this delete dive. It has even dive guide, how to create the dive. It can be very specific. Show over the past 90 days. Then list drives, read drive, save drive, share drive data, update drive, view drive. All right. So we have covered the dives, but let me quickly show you that even you can create a new database table. Everything is possible. What I will say, create a new. Let me just open a new chat because I don't want to provide the old context. So I will say, create a new UK banks table in MotherDuck inside a new schema, okay, new database called UK data and schema banking. Populate sample data as well. Add audit columns as well. So I will remove this as well. And then if I just, what it will do, it will again use my tool to create a new database and a schema and populate the sample data inside new UK banks table. Now we haven't mentioned anything regarding the schema or how the columns list look like. So it will create depending on its understanding of the training. Now it's saying this will create a database schema table and insert the rows, confirming before I run it inside the right operation. Shall I go ahead? Of course, and it will populate 10 sample UK rows. Okay, yes, populate. So we'll just say 20 rows. Always allow. So it's creating database. You can see everything here. It will create the schema, basically executing query on our behalf. Let's insert data, some sample data. Asking you for quick verification because it wants to even verify the table has been created successfully. Catalog refresh issue. Okay. So intermittent errors can come because ultimately everything is happening under the hood. But agent will take care. Good. Okay. So it's clearly illustrating that it's just a transient hiccup. Unqualified reference. Let's confirm. All set. Audit columns also added. Created at, created by, updated by, and is active. If I go there in my MotherDuck account, and if I just refresh this, so I can close table summary like this. I can see summary, by the way. If I click here, I can copy the name, can do other things as well. But if I click here, I can see a quick summary. It will also show you the data quality, distinct values and all. So I will just close this table summary. And if I go there, the UK data, just scroll down. Banking, there's a table, UK banks. So this table, the agent has just created. Great. Each bank has a ID, then name, trading name, bank type, website. If I scroll right, I can see there are reference number, regulated, FCFS protected, website, created by, updated by, and is active. Great job for all the major banks of UK. Like suppose I am a business person. I don't have any experience of writing SQL. With the help of any AI agent, I can quickly understand the state of my company because I have Dive. I can ask any question in Dive. I can even ask anything about my table, anything about my data, which I am storing on MotherDuck. And it gives me complete flexibility. There is no need to even know Power BI, Tableau, Looker, because there's something called Dive. And that's the main reason I created this video. And I have gone through all the steps. You can create reports much better, if especially when you use latest models of Claude like Opus. Let's understand what is flights. Whenever you do anything complex in MotherDuck, my suggestion to you is to store that data as a guide. Because the next time if you want something similar, then you can give a reference. I mean, you can just mention your query or your prompt, and under the hood, the Claude understand that there's a guide which needs to read, and it will do a much better job. Just go there and say, create a flight in MotherDuck that fetches data using DLT Hub. So DLT Hub is a open source Python based tool which you can use instead of Fivetran to ingest any kind of data. And this is the official website. It's again tool which I want to cover in future. This is the DLT Hub. And again, it's a AI native data engineering platform. So I will go there now in the new chat, and I will say using DLT Hub for JSON placeholder. So JSON placeholder is API for 100 rows. I don't want for because there's a paging logic involved. So I will just say for 100 rows API posts. Okay, posts API for 100 rows and load the data into MotherDuck new tables in UK data database. I am not doing anything. Even I can mention the transformation as well, right? So it can transform data as well. But let's keep things simple. So it will ingest and load the data. Not creating any pipeline, but it will do instead. I will just, so JSON placeholder, let me show you quickly. It will just have some fake data, a faker API. And if I just scroll down in the post one, this is how data will look like. Okay, so I have given the just a very high level prompt on this and going to just click on enter and let's see what it will do. So it is reading the MotherDuck flights DLT skill. Okay, so this skill is reading that. Always allow will create the flight. It's writing the code and DLT Hub code is again all Python. So these are all Python based tools. Similar to Apache Airflow, but Apache Airflow serves different purpose. That is for orchestration and this is for ingestion. So when you see ETL, it's only for extracting the data. T is for transformation. We use tools like dbt in that case. And then L is for loading. So it's again using MCP tools related to flight. You can see the flight ran successfully. Let me confirm the data landed correctly. Done. Flight created. Telling you now somebody fetches this using the two-step scratch DB pattern. Creates this on day one only, no schedule. I ran it once as a test and it succeeded with exit code 0. I will say schedule this flight every day 10 UK, or I will say 10 UTC. Because I don't want to do scheduling isn't available on your command current. Okay, fine. So we have a restriction. We are using a free account. It will not give you that option. Okay, so there are flights here. I have created some flights before as well. And let's see today's one. This is 2nd of August here today. And just see, it has created the whole project. So there's a main.py that is ingesting the data from JSON type holder, typecode.com. And then it's all DLT hub related code. It is fetching the data. It has requirement.txt where I install the DuckDB latest version and the DLT DuckDB package, and it succeeded as well. Can added this as well in case I want to, but I can also add it with the help of agent. Okay, guys, you can do anything. And again, it will create version like this. So if you update, it will create one more version. I can even run here. I go to this flight. I want to treat these dots. And we can schedule it with the help of cron format. Now, this is currently in preview, so I won't recommend to use in production. Just imagine once this is in GA, I mean the flights concept. So I will just go there and we'll cover the flights part. So you can see how this is going to work. And it's using the Python runtime. Anything that is possible in Python, you can do. Now there's something interesting called prompt functions as well in MotherDuck. But what we are going to do in the SQL assistant, let's see prompt query. So there are various AI related function that you can use. Again, great feature from the MotherDuck team. And I can run like this. So I can just mention in a text what I want. It will convert into a query. So if I just copy this part, and what I'm going to do now, we are going to untitled notebook. That is fine. We can create a cell new. And what I'm going to do now, I will just write like this. So we'll prompt query, and I will say, let me just change it to so UK data we have created. It's not currently showing. Maybe it's not refreshed. Let me just refresh once. So I can even write like this, UK data. Now I will select new banks data. Started post 2000. So if I run this now, it is returning the data. We have not written the query, but it has converted into a query and gives you the data. And all the banks are founded post 2000. Various other options as well. We are going to cover this AI related stuff in a separate video because this is something very interesting. But in today's video, hope you found it useful. This is all the guides where you can see the guides, and this is again for in preview. So I'm not going to cover these preview features, but I covered flights because this is a very interesting concept using just Python to create your own ETL pipeline. And as it also understand the DBT, so you can mention the transformation as well. Complete end-to-end ETL pipeline can be created with the help of tools like DLT Hub, DBT, and just MotherDuck. Hope you find it useful. In case you like the content, like and subscribe the channel, and we will come up with more interesting content in future. Thank you so much for watching.